I'm Greg. I'm majoring undecided and I'm a freshman. I play the bass. And it just feels like such an intimate space to share. Like once you get in the pocket with people, it's like nothing else. Like you speak this virtual language. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. I really like it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And
My name's Quinn Stovall. I'm an art history major. I'm a junior, and I play the drums. It's kind of just like a breath of fresh air. It's like a good way to get relief from everything, especially with drums. Just like a good way to kind of get a lot of frustrations out and be able to be as creative as you want. I got into it. My dad was a musician growing up, so I've just like always been around music, and just like had a guitar around the house when I was younger. So started with that, and eventually started with drums when I was in college. I met Tate and Jack. I met Jack freshman year in the dorms. We lived together and actually went to like rival high schools. Then Tate just met through another musician friend. Julie I met through Jack, and Aaron was on a friend's Snapchat story, and he was just like playing really well a few times. I just asked if he was in a band. She said no, and then we decided to have him come along, and then Aaron introduced us to Greg.
Weston. I'm a junior. I'm a philosophy major. I play guitar, but I also make electronic music. Well, this is a bit of a hodgepodge group. I guess I initially met Quint Stovall through a mutual friend of ours who actually no longer goes to Tulane. And then Quint introduced me to Jack Henshaw, the piano player. And this was over the summer, actually. And we also had a original bassist named Avery. And he was a part of our band, but he actually started on the keys. But then we had Jack Henshaw on the keys, and he switched over to bass. But ultimately, Avery, he was just sort of more in it for fun and didn't really, practice a lot or commit to the instrument. He was more just kind of chilling. So when we started getting a bit more serious, he decided to step back and just kind of jam. And that's when we met Greg. Yeah, but I guess I sort of forgot to introduce Aaron to the picture, who's the other guitar player. And Aaron, we met through this girl, Sydney Stam, who posted on her story Aaron playing guitar. And we were like, wow, he's really good at guitar. And so he came to jam with us. And yeah, the rest is history. And then Aaron actually was the link to Greg, the new bass player, who he met in some class and kind of immediately clicked. And yeah, so that's sort of the... Oh, and I guess I'm forgetting to introduce our other element, which is Julia, who's our singer. But we met her through Jack Henshaw, who actually went to boarding school with him. So, yeah.
I'm Jack Henshaw. I'm a junior at Tulane. I'm a music and political science double major with a minor in business. I play piano with the band. Yeah, and everything else the keyboard does too, I guess. Well, I started playing classical music when I was pretty young, maybe first or second grade, on the piano. And I'd take lessons with a teacher once a week, and I did that pretty much through high school. I'd take like summers off, but it was pretty regular in my life, classically. And then I did some other stuff when I got to college. Well, I met Quint. He was on my floor when we were freshmen in Butler Dormitory, and I met him maybe in the first week. We hung out, we connected over our shared boarding school experience. He went to my rival school, and yeah, we were friends then. We played music freshman year together, just him on guitar, me playing a little keyboard. And slowly, as our friend group grew, so did our band and just the people we met who could contribute to like our idea of what we wanted to do as like a group.
Here it goes.
Too much.
Too much as of late, that's for sure. I live here, so I feel a lot of it when we practice.
Well, we practice like 3 times a week.
Yeah,
And we've had 6 gigs in the past 2 weeks,
yeah,
2.5 weeks.
The more gigs, the more we
Yeah.
practice. Yeah, when we play on weekends, we usually get in like 3 practices sometimes. I think that's
Maybe 4.
That's around our averages.
Yeah.
How responsive would you say then, like, people you've reached out to are about having you guys come play?
Pretty enthusiastic because we're so cool.
Because it's mostly our friends. Like, most of the gigs we've done, it's
the
like.
music is alright, but we're cool.
Yeah, right. We had a few that were like, we got like asked from just like a friends doing like parties and stuff. A few we just like set up on our own. But usually like we had one where the one they were talking about where someone just like walked into the door. That was like we just showed up at a random bar this dude told us to come to and like try to get on stage, and they weren't very friendly at first. Like having us play, like they like barely want us to play a song, and then we played a few songs, and they like kept us on for what was it, 3-4 songs?
3 songs.
Yeah, and so I mean, like after they seemed like they didn't hate us as much, so that seemed pretty good. But like overall, it hasn't been like too tough, like trying to get something going, or at least we've had one instance where the person who got the person who hired us wasn't great, but that was about it. Everything else has been good. We're Tuxedo Park, minus Aaron and Julia.
Sweet.